Alright, that's mic test. Alright, so check muna po natin kung gumagana po yung sounds natin na wala na yung static. Alright, that's mic test. Alright, so far so good. Alright, so check muna po natin kung gumagana po yung sounds natin na wala na yung static. Alright, so good morning once again to my grade 8 science class. Before going directly to the lesson, let me just announce to you some few of the things that will happen also for the next few days. Alright, so based on the things that we talked about in the department, it was advised for us that we'll be finishing the lesson maybe by first week of May, or maybe even the latest will be the second week of May. Now, as you get to visit your Kuiper accounts, you get to see that your Kuiper activities will be expiring on May 14. Now, that's the actual date that I will be already be ending my lesson on that day, and the rest of the days of the months for days for the month of May is used for others to be able to follow up, or even try to cope up with the missed lessons for the last few months, since I think the day we had our suspension of classes. Now, I encourage you to for the students to just be able to accomplish your Kuiper activities, because that will be my basis for my grade for the fourth quarter. Now, do not wait anymore for maybe the completion period for you to finish that one. If you can be able to finish that one as early as now, then it's better that way, for us to be able to compute your grades right away and write that one in the card. Mas less hassle sa inyo, mas less hassle din sa teacher. So please, let's help each other out by trying to finish this activity. So this is only for science. I do not know what are your requirements for your other subjects. Alright, so the lesson for today will be all about a story, of which is related to our lesson. However, I will be backing track with the lesson that we had last time, which is actually a discussion about the video of the Amoeba sisters trying to explain to you the number of chromosomes of people, no? Yun. So, yun muna tayo, saka tayo punta sa story ng isang tao. Alright, so let's go now there. Alright. Sandali Ayun. So, lagay ko yung video naman doon sa upper left corner, no? Kasi medyo sagabal sa may example pictures na sa side. So the lesson for today is lesson 16.3, is entitled as a chromosome number and chromosomal basis for sex, or for either your male or a female. All right? Excuse. Now, the objectives of this lesson are: explain the significance of meiosis in maintaining chromosome number, determining the factors that dictate chromosome number, and differentiate between male and female gametogenesis. Alright. So, you encounter terms like gametogenesis. What else? I think this will be the only new term that you'll be encountering, no? However, you already know about the term gametes. So, it's related to that. Excuse me. It's related to that. So, let's continue now, no? I'll make this lesson short para hindi masyadong lagging at boring. Alright, as I mentioned last time, no? When you talk about your body cells or your somatic cells, is actually composed of your natin kung hindi sumasagabal. Alright, I'll place this one instead sa kabilang side. Dito na lang. Alright. Alright, so as I mentioned, no, when you talk about your chromosomes for the somatic cell, it has what you call 46 chromosomes. Or when you talk about, if you're going to place that one into an equation, we call that one your 2n. When you talk about your 2n, because of the word 2, no, the prefix for the 2 will be di, and just add the ploid, and that's the reason why we call those 46 chromosomes in somatic cells, which are actually diploid. No? Diploid po yung dami ng chromosomes po for somatic cells. Right? Each somatic cells has 46 chromosome, and if you're going to pair them, kasi sinasabi ko nga dati, no? Those different chromosomes, as I've mentioned, in this picture, you get to see that the chromosomes have different lengths, different shapes, different forms, and they need to find their pair. And when talk about your pair, no, they need to find the pair that exactly fits the way they are. Alright? And that is what you call your homologous pair. Now, here you get to see pair number 1, pair number 2, 3, pair number 4, 5, 6, 7, and it goes until pair 23. It's because, not 46 divided by 2 is actually 23. So, you have 23 pairs. Right? Continue with the next. Now, it says here, no, with the 23 pairs that you have, the first to until number 22 or pair number 22 is what you call your, no, ito yung sinasabi na natin ngayon na autosomes, or simply what you call your body chromosomes. Body chromosomes is actually the other term for your word autosomes. Alright, so from 1 to 22. However, be mindful that we have 23 pairs of chromosome. Now, anong gamit ng last na pair, yung pang 23rd pair? That is now what you call your sex chromosome, no? Sex chromosome, which actually now determines kung yung taong mabubuo is actually a lalaki or a babae. As I've mentioned here, no, for males, you have XY. So, XY, parehas lang nandito sa picture, the 23rd pair is actually XY. Therefore, this set of chromosomes that we have here is actually for males. Now, for females, we have your XX. Alright, so you get to see the difference between those ones, no, here. Nakita natin. So, males and females have similar sets of 44 autosomes, or the 22 pairs, because you're going to divide your 44 into 2, you have 22 pairs or 44 autosomes, and the rest, no, which would be your sex chromosome. Then again, for females, we have XX, for males, we have XY. Now, since this is related to what you call your meiosis, which is actually the production or the formation of your sperm and your egg cell, no, the process wherein your gametes, either that would be your egg or your sperm, would be what you call your gametogenesis as a general. Pag gumagawa ng sex cells or gametes, we call that one your gametogenesis. It's actually, pag nilalagyan mo kasi ng genesis yung term, is actually the process, or when you talk about Genesis, it's actually the first book in the Bible, and it's actually talking about creation. No? Paano nabuo yung earth, paano nabuo yung creature, paano nabuo yung tao. Then, no, that's the reason why when you talk about the word Genesis, placing it to a term, it means how are gametes created because of the word Genesis, which is actually the story of the Bible, which tell you about creation. Kaya ayun po, paggawa ng gametes or creation of gametes is what you call your gametogenesis. However, to be specific, when you talk about for males, kasi males make sperm, we call that one your spermatogenesis. However, for females, no, since they create egg, and for ang egg kasi sa Latin is o or ova, that is what you call your oogenesis, or the creation of your formation of your egg cell. Alright, so the general term would be your gametogenesis. To be specific, for the creation of your sperm or production of your sperm, we call that one your spermatogenesis. And for the formation or production of your egg would be your oogenesis. Alright, so hindi ko na pag-uusapan yung mga yung mga itong mga terms natin, because this is just something really very complicated anymore, and with the time being that we have, no, baka mahirapan kayo with this one. However, when you talk about the formation of your sperm cells, no, males create around 13 million of them each day. Now, before they become a mature sperm, we call that one yung immature na sperm is what you call your spermatogonium. Doon siya nagsisimula. If you're going to look at it here from the spermatogenesis or the meiosis process, no, from this start here until the end na meron ng mature na 4 sperm cells there is actually a spermatogonium na nagsisimula siya. Alright? So, kung spermatogonium sa lalaki, alam nyo na sa babae, just add the word ooto, no? So, ooto ba? Oogonium, no? We call that on your oogonium for your females. Right? So, yun po. And, hindi ko na po masyadong i-discuss ito kasi dadaanin natin, pwede nyo basahin. However, the more detailed lesson would be the one in the previous video that I've sent to you about the video reaction or the video lesson where I was using the amoeba sisters explanation. So, pang babae po, takes place in the ovaries. Pag sa lalaki, it takes place in the testis. Alright? So, yun, sa lalaki yung spermatogonium. Alright? Takes place in the seminiferous tubules. Alright? So, yung sa testis po, meron po mga tubes doon naman maliliit. That's the reason why we call that one your tubules. Doon po nangyayari ang spermatogenesis. Specifically, doon po pa rin yan part ng testis. Alright? So, we have here, tapos punta tayo doon sa females. Alright, so sa females, no? There are a lot of things involved for females is because this is actually they only create once. One of this one every month. That's the reason why last time, as I mentioned, no? So, sa 4 na yon na nabubuo na start with your oogonium here on top, which is the immature or the immature egg cell, during the process of your mitosis, no? Nang nangyari dyan, tapos nagiging meiosis dito na banda, kaya meron nangyayari dito, we have your 4 products of your meiosis now. We have one here, which is the matured egg cell, and the rest would be, the 3 ones would be your polar bodies. Alright, so, nangyayari ito sa ovaries, no? Tapos, this is usually happening during puberty. Alright, kasi this is only the time that mature egg cells are being created during puberty. Alright? Now, there are lots of things involved, no, for the female production of egg, which actually are composed of different hormones. You have your follicle stimulating hormone, or your FSH, no? Activation of your primary oocytes to complete the process of meiosis 1 and continue with meiosis 2. Alright, kailangan kasi nito yung FSH, no, para mag-produce po ng egg yung babae. That's the reason why for females who have hormonal imbalance, this is actually also related to those people or those female are actually having irregular menstruation. It's because of this different hormonal imbalance that happens in their body. Alright? So, ano pa ba nandito? So, actually, yun lang po, ano? Ayun, so... Alright, so sabi ko nga, polar bodies, yung mga nakakasamang 3, tapos isang matured egg cell, no? Which is actually, the polar bodies will be the one that will nourish the matured egg cell later on if there will be fertilization that will happen. However, if there are none, so walang nag-fertilize po kay matured egg dito, all of them will be disintegrated in a form of blood. That's the reason why girls have their period every month. Alright? So, here, so spermatogenesis and oogenesis differ in terms of unequal cytoplasmic division of the oogenesis and continuity of the spermatogenesis throughout life. Why? Because in males, no, even they reach around 80 years old, they're actually still producing that one. However, for females, they reach to a certain point in their life wherein menstruation will be stopping, and that is what you call now your menopause, no, wherein egg cells are not anymore healthy. They're so old, they're so very mature egg cells that are not actually hindi na po siya advisable for reproduction. Kaya nga yung mga iba, this is actually the problem with females who are on the late around 50s, no, or they're on the verge of their menopause, that they still reproduce, no, nabubuntis pa po sila to the point that's actually as mentioned by my biology teacher before in high school, that those are actually matured ovas already, or matured egg na really very mature, that they're not healthy anymore compared to the younger ones, wherein ang nangyayari po, there will be problems with the baby later on, no? It's either extreme kasi naman nangyayari dyan, pero usually dyan pinapanganak yung mga may Down syndrome, no? So if if you are kind of curious of what Down syndrome is, I'd like you to Google that one and just search the term Down, no, Down syndrome, meaning yung direction of down, the same no, the same spelling, the Down syndrome. Try to find and look at the one. Makikita nyo na, uy, parang may kilala akong ganito. Alright, so ito po. So this is actually related to your meiosis. So tingnan natin yung yung end part nito, which is the key points. So here, you get to see that 22 yung pair of autosomes and the last pair would be your sex chromosome. So 22 plus the last pair of your sex chromosome, you have 23 pairs or 46 chromosomes. Now for males, you have XY chromosomes. For females, you have your XX. No, these are your sex chromosomes that will determine. Now actually, to be honest with you, if you get to encounter problems with chromosomal disorders, there are people who are actually XXY, XXX, XYY, something like that, no, that are actually encountered during problems with these processes. Now, for the general term, we call that one your production of your egg cell. Your sex cells would be your gametes, will be gametogenesis, and males, no, since we create sperm, we call that one spermatogenesis, and for females, they create egg, we call that one your oogenesis. So let's try to see here activities, no, spermatogenesis, blah 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 blah. So true or false na naman ito. Try to find the answer for this one. Let's try to see your challenge yourself. What are the possible consequences if there are errors during gametogenesis? Actually, na-mention ko na eh. It's the reason why you have your mga chromosomal disorders. Actually, the problems with your Down syndrome is actually related to this one also. Alright, we talk about more about that one. However, let's go now to the other lesson, no? Which actually talks about your a story of a person by the name of Mendel. Mendel po yung apelyido niya. And why very exclusive to this person? Alright, so before I'm going to introduce this person, let's go and check first the objectives of this lesson. Now for this lesson, we have know Mendel's life and experiments, determine the basis of Mendel's experiment and how this relates to inheritance, explain how Mendel's observation led to the proposition of inheritance concepts, and lastly, we have your determine the factors that affect inheritance. The person we're talking about is an Austrian monk. Monk po siya. So, ito po yung taong magpaparisan, alright, by the name of Gregor Mendel. For other people, we call the for the expanded term of his name, we call him Gregor Johann Mendel. The spelling of the Johann is Johhann. However, we pronounce that one as Johann. Right? Gregor Johann Mendel. He's an Austrian monk. And why is this related to the lesson that we have? Because here at the bottom part, we have what you call, he was known as the father of genetics. Right? So as I mentioned in the earlier lesson of this one, genetics is a science that deals with how genes control the biological characteristics. Or simply, this is actually the study of inheritance and mga traits na nakukuha nyo. Alright, Gregor Mendel initiated the study of this particular branch of biology because genetics is actually a sub-branch of biology. Biology is the bigger branch, then the roots under its branch is actually what you call your mga sub-branch, or what you call your mga sub-studies na in biology, which is this one, what you call your genetics. Let's get to know him more. Alright, I thought na mayroong nag sa live chat. And anyway, alright, at age 18, he was accepted in the University of Alright, so these terms that these things are actually can be read, no? Can be pwede nyong basahin. I encourage you to read na lang because these are actually self-explanatory. Alright? He published a study on heredity in 1866. Alright, so he studied this one for the last one, no? Hindi siya known or hindi siya na-ignore siya for the last 3 decades before until such time na merong dumating sa turning point sa buhay niya. Alright? He then became the abbot of his monastery in 1867 and ran it as the administrator. Alright, so this is actually the Abbey of St. Thomas, no? where Johann Mendel became the monk with the name of Gregor Mendel. That's the reason why for other books they mention about the name Gregor Johann Mendel. This is actually saan yung monastery niya. When you talk about monastery, this is the place wherein parang dito nag-aaral yung mga nagpe-pray yung mga magiging monks. So the people who stay in monasteries are actually monks. Alright? So ito po si Gregor Johann Mendel is this is something really very fascinating is because people are actually religious or spiritual during those times actually do not support much about science, no? And however, this person is actually so unique and so amazing is that because with this religious background, he didn't also forget to learn about science and actually was named as the father of genetics. Ano ba yung ginawa niyang experiment? Bakit tinawag siyang father of genetics? Is because dito kasi even he encountered problems because sabi ko nga 3 decades sa hindi na recognize or na ignore yung lesson yung study niya. However, they get to see realize that with the peers with other scientists trying to read his experiments and his findings, they seen pala mayroon pala may mga tama palang na contribute itong si Gregor Johann Mendel. Alright, so ano ba yung contribute niya? It's actually nag-contribute siya sa blending theory of inheritance. Prior belief that a progeny or yung original will have traits that are smooth blend between the parents. When you talk about the progeny, ito po yung produkto ng mga parents. Alright, so ano bang ginagawa natin? People believe before that one has a smooth mixture of the parents of mixture of parents traits. Sinasabi nila minsan, let's say for example, let's talk about the story of Junmar Fajardo. If you get to see Junmar Fajardo, he's actually the 6'10", around 7 na siya, 6'10", 6'10" na basketball player, is actually a 5-time MVP in PBA playing with San Miguel. Now, Junmar is really that tall, but try to see his parent. Pag nakita nyo yung parent niya, his parent is not even more than 6 feet. Hindi po matangkad si father ni Junmar, hindi din po matangkad ang mother ni Junmar. Try to research it on in Google and try to see the parents of Junmar Fajardo. But, in that case, saan nakuha ni Junmar yung height niya if the parents are actually not that tall also? Or on the other way around, maybe meron din kayong na-encounter that parents are tall but the children are short. Alright, so, merong something na sinasabi nilang blending. Pero at some point, meron din tayong iniisip na bakit ganito, bakit ganun? Saan nakuha yung ganito, saan nagkuha yung ganun? Alright, this is actually the one that experimented by Gregor Mendel. It's so amazing and fascinating is that because ang pinagstudihan ni Gregor Mendel was actually a pea plant. Itong pea, if alam niyo yung green peas, yung green, or sweet pea, yung mga maliit na may pods, tapos mayroong mga maliliit na buto. Green pea, Muncher, if meron kayong yung nabibiling kinakain nyo na parang dingdong, pero Muncher yung brand. Green peas yun lahat, ganun po. So, anong nangyari dito? May garden po kasi si Gregor Mendel. And Gregor Mendel is actually, kasi sa monastery kasi, aside from praying and studying the Bible and studying spirituality, religiosity, ang pastime niya is try to make a garden at the backyard. And meron siyang 2 hectare garden sa monastery niya. Tapos he studied plant heredity where knowledge is still lacking during his time. Continue. This is actually the scientific name of the garden pea that Gregor Mendel studied, which is Pisum sativum. Why? Because they grow fast and easy to cultivate and has numerous distinguishable traits. Meaning, madaling itanim at maraming mga traits na pwede nating i-blend. Alright? So, he has able to grow about 30,000 pea plants. So, dito na po nangyari yung ginawa natin, pinag-aralan po ni Gregor Mendel. O anong ginawa niya? He gets to see that in the pea plant, hindi ko alam kung nakakasagabal yung mukha ko doon. Alright, tanggalin ko muna. he gets to see that in a pea plant, no? Tingnan nga natin to. Let's make another slide for this one kasi ang liit. Alright, palakihin ko ng ganito, ano? Dito para makita niyo yung mukha ko. Alright. Makita niyo po dito these are actually the ones that are mentioned, no, wherein he mentioned about distinguishable traits na pwede pong gawin natin sa pea plant. Anong ginawa niya dito? Napansin na yung pea plant niya, meron pong nagfa-flower ng purple at meron din pong nagfa-flower ng white. Now, what if, let's say for example, normally, pag purple, crossbreed mo sa isang purple na plant, dalawang plant. Alright? Ito na yung parents. Lalaking plant na may purple at babaeng plant na may purple. I-crossbreed, no? Anong expected nyo na anak nung flower nung magiging tutubong anak doon sa na-crossbreed na plants? Definitely, pag purple tsaka purple, purple din talaga. Diba? Or when you talk about white na flower, tapos white din na flower. I-crossbreed mo yan, anong chance na lumabas na white? Malaking chance. Kasi white talaga yung lalabas. Kasi parents ka white. However, what if, let's say for example, one parent is purple and one parent is white? Anong chances na anong kulay yung flower na lalabas na anak? Yun po yung pinag-aralan ni Gregor Mendel. The same goes to the seed color. Meron siyang nakitang variety niya na plant na yellow po yung seed ng pea at meron din pong green pea. So this is yellow pea and green pea. What if yung parent na ito na plant, no, kumuha siya ng kwan na yung buto nito yellow. Yung bunga nito na buto nito yellow. Yung isa naman yung bunga ng buto nito green. Tapos nag-crossbreed siya kasi pwede naman crossbreed ng plant, 'di ba? Ginagawa ng mga farmers. Nag-crossbreed siya. Ano kayang lalabas na kulay nung seed color nung magiging anak nung crossbreed ng dalawa? No, in this case, meron din tayong round and wrinkle. Ito yung medyo kulubot. So ano din mangyayari diyan? Meron din in terms of the shape of the leaves, no? A pod shape, meaning yung bahay nung seeds, 'di ba? Yung bahay ng seeds. Meron tayong inflated, meron namang constricted. Meron yung medyo mataba na maangin, no? Ito yung seed sa loob. Ito yung parang cover ng seed, 'di ba? May mahangin, meron naman yung talagang ipit na ipit. So, constricted and inflated, green and yellow. The rest will be those ones. So, ito yung pinag-aralan ni Gregor Mendel and trying to see the chances of the offspring, no? Offspring kung anong mangyayari if i-breed ko to. Kaya nga, with him being amazing of trying to study this one that he was known as the father of genetics. Yung sa ginawa niya dito. So, ito po yung actually yung kanya. So, shape, pod color, flower location. Meron kasing flower location na sa taas lang ng flower, ng plant. Meron din yung sa mga branches, merong each flower doon. So, meron tayong either axial or terminal. Tapos, plant height. Meron tayong short na pea plant, meron din tayong tall na pea plant. So, pag pinag-cross mo yun, ano kaya? Baka sabihin nyo, medium. Kasi may tall, may short, may medium. Alright? Let's try to see. Now, in his experiment, no, makikita natin yung characters and terms na characters and traits. Mendel established distinction between characters and traits. So, when you talk about character, these are hereditable traits of an organism. So, ito na yung characters ng mga parents na posible, no? Kasi hereditable sila. Ito yung mga traits. Hereditable traits na makukuha ng parents nila. However, yung traits po ngayon, ito po yung paano natin i-describe yung naging anak. Ano bang itsura nung cross na isang round seed at saka wrinkled seed? No, pinag-cross sila, crossbreed sila, anong nangyari doon sa anak nila? Alright? Ganon. Tapos in terms also of the hybridization, because when you talk about two things here, they're actually what you call your pure breed. So meron tayong mga tinatawag natin na pure tall. Let's say for example, matangkad na mga parents, pure tall sila. Malaking chance na tall talaga yung anak nila. Meron din tayong for Filipinos, no, meron tayong mga short people. So pure short sila. Pero meron din tayong tinatawag na hybrid na short and hybrid na tall. Now, that's the reason why you get to see let's go back to the story of John Mar Fajardo. Maybe we get to see that his parents are actually not pure breed na short people. At some point, maybe they are just hybrid, and maybe because one of his parents or maybe both parents carry a tall gene in their body that is actually manifested na nung nagkuhan na yung parents nila at lumabas si Junmar, yung tall genes po ang mas nanaig kaysa sa short genes ng parents. Kaya po, minsan, meron pong ganun. That's the reason why, if you're going to look at here, Mendel performed hybridization studies where he crossed true breeding plants with contrasting traits. Alright, anong mangyayari pag tall and tall? Ilang chance na pwedeng lumabas na tall ang anak, and ilang chance na pwedeng magkaroon ng short yung anak. Alright? Ito po yung tinatawag natin na P generation or parental generation. Sila yung originals. Alright? So sabihin natin si parent na ito, pure tall. Ito, si parent na ito, pure short. O, nag-asawa. Ilan yung chance na yung anak nila matangkad at saka pandak? So, yung mga anak nila ngayon, tawag natin dyan, F1 generation. First filial generation, yung mga kwan. However, hindi po ito pwede sa tao, pero this is actually being used for plants. So, sige, let's talk about plants na lang. Tall na plant, let's say for example, tall na pea plant and short na pea plant. Alright? Pinag-crossbreed mo sila, ilan yung chance na mayroong tall plant at saka mayroon yung small pea plant, pandak. Now, ngayon, yung mga anak na yon galing from original parents, sa P generation, yung anak na yon is what you call your filial generation. Kasi sa plants pwede, what if naman ipag-crossbreed natin yung mga anak na yon? Pag nag-crossbreed yung mga anak na yon, kasi nga, hindi natin alam, pag-aaralan natin yung possibility ng magkakaroon ng anak dito. Yung anak naman na yon, nang galing sa original one, ipag-crossbreed nila, pag lumabas yung anak naman nila, kumusta naman yun nandoon? That is what you call now your F2 generation or what you call your second filial generation. So from parents, nag-crossbreed, nagkaroon ng mga ganitong anak with different characteristic based on the parent. Now itong mga anak na posible dito, pwedeng mag-crossbreed ulit kasi pwede sa plants ito. Tapos, nagkaroon na naman ito, parang yung parent ito, nagkaroon ng anak, yung apo ngayon is actually your F2 generation. So, anong mangyayari din po? Anong mga characteristics po dong nasa F2 naman? Alright? So, we'll be studying that one with a certain method called later on what you call your Punnett squaring. Pwede nating i-predict, kung pang parent is ganito, si father is ganito, si mother is ganito, ilang chance niya ganito yung anak. Alright? We'll continue. So, Mendel supported the 3:1 pattern of the inheritance he observed in the F2 generation through several concepts. The genes are heritable factors in organisms. The alleles are the alternative versions of the genes. Alright, so we have your different terms here now. Genes kasi, ang sinasabi dyan is, those are actually your sequences that you get to find in DNA sequences. However, hindi mo malalaman sa DNA sequences doon kung ano yung characteristic ng organism na yon. That's the reason why for us to be better understand that one, instead of using the term genes for genetics, we call that one your alleles. So, andito yung term. Each allele is inherited from a parent. So, si father matangkad, si mother pandak, meron tayong tinatawag na tall gene and short gene. Pero wag na nating tawagin niya na tall gene and short gene. Meron tayong tinatawag na allele, tall allele, and short allele. However, sa allele po, dalawa din po based on the Mendelian genetics. Ang tawag kasi natin sa genetics na style ni Gregor Mendel is the Mendelian genetics because there is also what you call your non-Mendelian genetics that I may be able to share to you also. However, when you talk about your alleles, meron po tayong tinatawag na dominant allele and your recessive allele. Alright, ganito kasi yan eh. When you talk about your dominant allele, these are actually the alleles that are stronger that will show in the characteristic of that person. Let's say for example, si father, pure tall allele. Si mother, pure short allele. Nagkaanak sila, ngayon yung anak nila, matangkad. So therefore, nakuha niya yung genes ni father. So masasabi natin po, na yung batang yon, meron 50-50 na genes na nakuha niya kay father yung tall, pero meron din siyang 50% na nakuha sa pandak na gene ni mother. Hindi po nawawala yun. Kasi nga, hybrid na siya ng parents niya. Si father niya, pure tall. Si mother niya, pure short or pure pandak. Ngayon, ang anak lumabas matangkad. So, therefore, nakuha niya kay father. Pero, again, that person ng anak ngayon is 50-50 yan in terms of the allele. 50 nakuha niya kay father na yung matangkad, 50 nakuha niya kay mother. Pero, bakit po matangkad siya? Is because, no, we talk about, this one now tells you about your dominant and your recessive allele. Therefore, nag-dominate po yung tall gene ni father na ngayon lumabas doon sa anak niya, yun po yung nakita natin sa anak niya. So, therefore, masasabi natin that the tall gene is actually the dominant gene. However, the short gene that is the one taken from the mother is actually what you call your recessive gene. Medyo the weaker gene. What happens here in the Mendelian genetics is pag merong dominant gene at merong recessive gene na magkasama, talagang tatabunan ni dominant gene si recessive gene. Kaya what if, let's say for example, baliktad yung nangyari. Nakuha dominant gene ng itong anak na ito kay mother, which is the short one, and the father, the tall gene is just recessive. So ngayon, 50-50, 50% short gene, 50% tall gene. However, nag-dominate po si short gene. So, therefore, pandak po yung anak. So, ganito po yung alleles po na nangyayari sa Mendelian genetics or no, na overpower nung yung isa sa isa. So, that's the reason why if you're going back to this picture, no, alright, if going back to this picture, let's say for example, if the purple flower is actually a dominant gene and white flower there is a recessive gene, chances are malaking chance na lumabas yung anak na purple. Let's say for example, pag dominant gene naman si green seed, however si yellow seed is the recessive one, malaking chance na lumabas yung anak as green seed. Kasi nga, dominant versus allele, lalabas po na dominant. Alright, so I'll just keep it until here, no? I'll make this lesson short. So, ito po yung story ni Gregor Mendel. The dominant traits are the ones being expressed. Ito, si the recessive traits are just the ones that are still there, but natatabunan. Ito, yung sinabi ko, genes are the coded or sequence of DNA. However, para ma-express natin yung characteristics and traits ng organism, we call that one alleles instead. So, we have some few activities here. Try natin dito. Why is it important to know the traits are recessive or dominant when breeding plants or animals? With the one that I explained to you earlier, maybe alam nyo na yung answer dito. Alright? So, I think this will be it, no, for everything and for today. And I hope that you still continue to study. Kailangan nating magtulungan para dito para matapos po itong fourth quarter natin at hopefully no continue pa rin tayo mag-pray na sana matapos itong COVID-19 crisis kasi hindi na po siya masaya. Alright? So magtulungan po tayo para magkita-kita tayo muli kasi nakakamiss din yung kakulitan nyo. Nakakamiss din magturo sa harap ng maraming pasaway na estudyante, nagsusulat sa board. No, so mga ganun. So, for us to be able to overcome this one, let's finish these different activities that I'm sending you. School year ends and we prepare, we pray, continuous praying for what is happening right now. And until then, no, tulong-tulong po tayo. So, kung meron kayong tanong, pwede kayong magtanong sa akin through Messenger sa Facebook, pwede din dito sa Messenger ng Creeper. So, without further much ado, thank you for listening. I hope you're enjoying learning still. And good morning once again, and God bless you.